Yo, it's Bam Bam on Backwood Media. Now, when you deal with thought, you're dealing with the mental preset. You're dealing with the imagination. You're dealing with the reflection of the Most High. You're dealing with the aspect of a being that has been through all dimensions. When we're talking about the manipulation of the waveform, and also talking about the thoughts. So we understand that since thought is thoughts, these thoughts are what is you being utilized as energy to construct the different realities. So thought, in this sense, has been on all planes, right? And so this is the part that confuses people, because people tend to think of thought in a negative preset because of stories they've heard and through these different people's videos and different things like that. But Thoth is actually a very good alchemist when it comes to transmutation, alchemy. We're talking about the process of not just turning lead to gold, but also turning, what people would think is trash into treasure, what people would think is a negative energy into a positive energy. So we understand that this is what we do when we come down into the lower realms, in these lower spaces, is we're doing this alchemical transmutation of energy, and ultimately, when the transmigration of the soul goes through this process of going through the different realms, it picks up these different experiences to be able to, experience what it is to be at its lowest, to ultimately cultivate a newest high, the next highest place. So what it is like, think about if you had everything you wanted, but then think about, no matter of fact, I'm gonna say you wouldn't know what you want if you didn't have what you didn't want. Does that make sense? So therefore, you need to be able to have that compare and contrast of having the opposite polarity of something. So this being two halves of a whole, when we're talking about a wholeness of the field, of the auric field of that we are as a unity, as a consciousness, you understand that this consciousness had to be divided into parts. This is like they was talking about with Osiris and these different things between the subconscious and the conscious realm. Now, this is talking about between the us as the unified field. But we obviously have more things that go beyond the space and time. But this is just for you to understand the examples of how things relate to you as well as the spirit. So I have whole videos on things relating to Thoth and relating to the Egyptians, relating to the stars and things like that, right? But what I'm saying ultimately is we are beings that can alchemize anything. You feel what I'm saying? And this being known, just like you think about, the way, the atoms that we have on this earth, as you breathe, right? You breathe in and out. As you breathe, all of the cells in the body die, and then they, as this breath of life come in, they come back in, and they are pretty much it's this inhale and exhale is replacing all the old cells with new cells on a constant intake of breath and outtake of breath. So basically, this is basically like transmutation, because this is what the body is constantly doing. You're constantly taking this shit, and it's using, and this shit is going to be decomposed, and it's going to, all this energy is going to be transformed back into grass and different other things for the planet. So it's like, this is what happens to everything. We talk about a seed and putting it deep into the soil. This is on every level. We're talking about how transmutation of energy is very important, and how transmutation of your own energy is very important. So when I'm dealing with any situation, whether I think it's negative or positive, it's about how I perceive it and about how I interact with that thing. So as I understand, we reflect off of each other. Let's say if my mama or my coworker was negative, and I understand, and they were coming to me on a negative connotation every day, you have many different ways you can go about a situation, but ultimately you want to understand that any negative energy somebody sends to you when they're thinking negatively on you, or they're going to try to speak negative things about you in the workspace, like, you feel me, like, I'm not gonna get no names, but you get what I'm saying, right? You're going to take that energy and you're going to use it as power. You're gonna take that energy, you're gonna transmute it into power. You're gonna take that energy, transmute it into, through authenticity and love. And you feel me? And you will see how ultimately this will give you not only creative energy, but this will give you, a maturity in your perspective of how you view things and how you take things and how you deal with everyday problems in your life. So you can deal with the problems in the physical as well as the mental as well as the emotional bodies. So you can start to upgrade yourself in the spiritual. So people who want to be able to get to a higher spiritual, to be able to hear spirit and to be able to, be in tune with your higher self, you have to be able to go through this process first. And this is why they have these different things they call dark nights of the soul and different things like that, because the dark night of the soul is no more than just you going through this alchemical process of transmuting shit into gold, into light. You understand? You transmuting the things that you think is ultimately the decay, and it's all the decay, and it's being retransformed back into this renewed energy. This is why we say Ra new. You know what I'm saying? Because Ra new is saying or new Ra is like saying, oh, we have the Ra energy, which is going to be like renew, to renew something, to have the sun being birthed back into existence or into creation. So from things being the universe coming all together, being formed through division and then a unity, and then back into this division and back into unity. This is the process of things renewing themselves. This is the process of things always cycling. This is why we say cycles, because cycles are circles of duration and time. So what I'm getting at is ultimately to cultivate the best you is to be the master alchemist. Because you're down here anyways, you might as well learn to be the master alchemist so nobody can ultimately affect your energy in a negative manner. You can ultimately take any negativity and make it positive. What they say, two negatives make a positive. You understand that even with that negative energy, I can take that energy and I can switch. I can mold the energy into what I want it to be. So anytime I have a person coming at me, especially when you're talking about some of these people that so-called spiritualists, that are no more than egotistical people who want to speak negativity or want to do magic or negativity into your life, you understand that has no effect on me, because it's all about how you perceive it and how you deal with the energy itself. You send me negativity, I change that trash into gold. You feel what I'm saying? It's like the sun. This is why we talk about that fire energy. This is like transmutation of that fire. It's like the phoenix. So the phoenix, as this phoenix rises, you feel me? They thought that the phoenix was dead, but the phoenix could just come back to life. Like if you ever watch, for my One Piece fans, you feel what I'm saying? Like if you ever watch One Piece, they got a character called Marco the Phoenix. You talk about Phoenix Force. You're talking about Jean Grey, Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force is talking about the same thing. This is the alchemical transmutation of taking that darkness and changing it into light. And you can be at the highest level because you were able to produce that strength through the darkness. Does that make sense? It's like, who can really mess with you if you have been through the dark and the light? Who can really disrupt your frequency? You have a stability to you. This is why you talk about the four corners of the earth and talk about the subconscious mind and being able to master subconscious mind, because you have this stability. You have this foundation. You feel what I'm saying? So this foundation is a very important thing that you need to be able to become the ultimate version of yourself so you don't break. You ultimately bend and you're flexible and you're adaptable, because we understand that change is adaptable. And change deals with time, and time deals with space, and space deals with ether, and ether deals with mind, and mind deals with thought, and thought deals with the thoughts, which is waves, magnetic waves. You feel what I'm saying? So we can keep going into it. So, but at the end of the day, this is ultimately the journey of the soul. Let the soul do what the soul does. You just embrace every step of it, no matter what comes your way. You go through it. You defeat it. You defeat it by being yourself. You feel what I'm saying? But it's Bam Mo, Backwood Media. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe. Make sure y'all share. And I got more coming for y'all.